Hello everyone, I hope that you are well today. I'm not in the class, but I'm going to leave you with this video lesson. Today we're going to be covering lesson 1.6, comparing and ordering integers. Right, let's gonna have a look at exactly the things we're going to do. We're gonna be finding opposite and absolute values, and we are going to be graphing and ordering integers. In fact, we are not going to be doing much graphing, but yes, we're going to be doing some ordering, okay? And without further ado, just a reminder of the type of numbers, okay? We covered this, I show you this graph, this table, and also we had a little discussion about natural whole numbers, whether the 10 was a natural or it was a whole number just because it included that zero. The fact that natural are all the counting numbers, okay, that we can use with our hands, our toes, including the 10. And then the whole, difference between the whole and the natural numbers is the inclusion of the zero, okay, as a standalone digit, as one digit, single digit, okay, zero. Then we are going to be concentrated today in the integer realm, okay, integers. What is an integer? An integer is nothing but a set of positive and negative whole numbers, very important, including the zero, okay? All your positive, all your negative, but whole numbers cannot be a fraction or a decimal. So if you think in terms of a number line, okay, you can see the zero at the center. On the left-hand side is going to be all your negative numbers. On the right-hand side, all your positive numbers, okay? Just note that the arrows it means that the numbers goes from infinity and beyond, okay? So it's just the line. It's not a segment with a ending point. So this doesn't end, okay? Right, so how do you compare and order the whole numbers? We're gonna use, this is a revision of another lesson we did, comparing and ordering the whole numbers using the symbols, okay? The greater than or the less than. This is the one I told you to use because remind me of a less. My pen is not so good, but that's the less. Remind me like less, and that's how I remember less than. Okay, so you can use that, or you can use the crocodile, something bigger, small. The crocodile, the mouth eats the smaller fish. Whatever helps you to remember. Okay. And remember, you always read from left to right. So this is how we're going to graph and order the integers. So yeah, that's what we're saying, the less than or the greater than. Remember that on a number line, the bigger number is on the right side, okay, on the positive side. Positive can be also in the negative side as long as the number is in the right-hand side of the one on the right side of the one you want to compare. So you just put both numbers on the line and see which one wins. Sometimes it's difficult to see this way. You're comparing a fraction with a whole number. So the only way you can do this is that by turning this into a mixed fraction. So 8 over 3, how many times goes 3 into 8? That's going to be 2 times and 2/3. So that will be 2.6. So you are comparing 2.666. You're comparing that to 2. So you can see that 8 over 3 is greater than 2. Okay? So that will be on the right-hand side of the number line of the 2. So yeah, 8 over 3 is greater than 2. Another way you can do this to compare a fraction with a whole number is to turn the fraction into to turn the whole number into a fraction. Okay, and then you multiply, you get the lowest common multiple, that will be 3, and then cross multiply, that will be 8 and 6. So 8 over 3 and 6 over 3. So you can compare. 6 over 3, that's correct. So you know that a over 3 will be greater than 6 over 3. Right, let's continue. It works the same way with negative numbers, okay? So negative 3 and 2, which one is going to be the greater? Well, the negative 3 is going to be on the left-hand side of the number line, and the 2 is going to be on the right-hand side. So 2 is going to be on the right side of negative 3. Hence, negative 3 is less than 2, or 2 is greater than negative 3. What about 0 and negative 1? Well, 0 is going to be right at the center. Negative 1 is going to be on the left. So 0 is going to be what? Greater than negative 1. Okay? This is your starting point. Or negative 1 is less than 0. What about negative 6 and negative 2? Well, if you put them both in the number line, we can see that negative 6 is on the left of negative 2. Hence, negative 6 is less than negative 2. You happy? Let's continue. Here's now another example with decimals and negatives. So negative 2.5 and negative 2.25. Okay. Remember, this is no longer an integer because we are comparing decimal, negative decimal. So that will be the other type on the classification. That will be the rational numbers. Okay. We can have negative and positive numbers. They don't need to be whole numbers. So if we compare them, negative 2.5 is going to be smaller than negative 2.25 on the left-hand side. It's going to be less than. Okay, there is a number of exercises you to try it if you need, but if you are okay with this, you can pause it here if you want, and then give it a go. If you are okay to continue, you can we can have a look at the absolute values, okay, of an integer. The absolute value of a number is the distance from 0 to the number line, and this is represented, this is the distance between 0 and the number, okay? So the absolute value represents the distance between 0 and the number, positive or negative, and it's given by this symbol, these parallel lines, these vertical lines, okay? So you have on both sides. So the absolute value of 4, you represent what is the distance between 0 and 4, is going to be 4 units. Okay, this is the number of units. So the absolute value of 4, you represent the 4 with these two parallel vertical lines, is equal to 4. What will be the absolute value of negative 5? Well, what will be the distance between negative 5 and 0? And that's going to be 5 units. So the absolute value of negative 5 is going to be 5. Are you happy? This is an easy concept. Right, so what is the absolute value of 0? How far is 0 from 0? 0. There's no distance, okay? And what will be the absolute value of negative 2.31? It's going to be negative 2.31, because as the distance is still being the same distance to 0, no matter if it's a positive or negative. Okay, there are more examples here for you to try. If you want to, you can pause the video and then you can try yourself. If you're happy, then you can move into the formative link, which I will share with you. This video lesson will, as you will see, is embedded into the Go formative video. Thank you for your attention, and I hope to see you very soon.